Some houses are abandoned for a reason, but what happened inside this one was never meant to be found. A family vanished without a trace. No bodies, no clues, only whispers beneath the floorboards. Tonight, we open the file they tried to bury for 34 years. The Abyss House Murder, a mystery, unsolved for 34 years. In the winter of 1991, on the outskirts of a small town called Redville, there stood an old house perched on a rocky cliff overlooking a dense forest. The locals called it the Abyss House because it faced a steep, shadowy drop where sunlight reached only for a few minutes a day. No one had lived there for years until it was bought by the Harlow family, the father Thomas, the mother Maria, and their 9-year-old daughter Emma. The family moved in seeking a fresh start, but they didn't know that the house carried secrets yet to be uncovered, and voices that did not belong only to the past. From the moment they entered the house, Emma felt as if the place was watching her. She kept turning around as if someone was walking on tiptoes behind her, breathing near her ear. That night, Maria woke to the sound of footsteps in the basement. She woke her husband, and they went down together. The lighting was dim because electricity in the area kept cutting off. At the basement door, they noticed something strange. The outer lock was broken from the inside. They didn't go down. They closed the door and convinced themselves that the previous owners must have left it like that. But in the morning, Emma said she saw a tall man standing at her bedroom door. Her parents thought it was just a nightmare. It wasn't. Only 2 weeks later, Thomas, the head of the family, started acting strangely. He woke up terrified at night, wandering the house drenched in sweat, swearing he heard whispers coming from the basement. Days later, he decided to check for himself. On a stormy night, he took his flashlight and went down. 15 minutes passed, then an hour, and he never came back. Maria went after him, but she found nothing. No Thomas, no footprints, not even the flashlight. The basement was completely empty. She called the police immediately. They searched for 3 nights straight. The forest, the cliff, the house. They found no body, no fingerprints, not even evidence that someone entered or left. The man vanished, as if evaporated into thin air. The case was filed as missing person. After the father's disappearance, stranger things began happening. One night, while Maria was cleaning the kitchen wall, she noticed faint lines appearing under the paint. She brought the flashlight closer and saw a long stroke, then another, as if someone had written a sentence that was later painted over. She scraped the paint with her finger, and the full words appeared. "He is beneath us." A cold shiver crawled up her spine. She grabbed Emma and ran to the neighbors. The next day, the police came. They inspected the wall, the basement, the old tunnels, and found nothing. They told her the message might have been left by previous owners, but Maria was sure the paint was new and that the message wasn't there a week earlier. Maria was afraid to sleep. One night, she placed a small camera in the living room pointed toward the basement door. Just to reassure herself, she left it running all night. In the morning, she sat down to watch the footage. At first, everything was normal until 3:17 a.m. the basement door began to move very slowly, as if someone was opening it from the inside, even though it was secured with a brand new lock installed by the police. After several seconds, a tall shadow appeared at the doorway. Not entirely human, not clear, like a person, but its limbs moved unnaturally, slowly, and stretched. The shadow stood still for a few seconds, then moved toward the threshold, tilting its head to one side as if listening. Then it disappeared. Not faded. Disappeared suddenly from the frame, as if that part of the video had been erased. Maria took the footage to the police. The officer returned after 2 hours and said, "The camera experienced interference. Nothing shows." But Maria was certain of what she saw, and the tape was still in her hand. A month after the father disappeared, Emma vanished. She was playing in her room. Maria heard her laughing with something, then suddenly a short scream. When she reached the room, she found the window open and cold air filling the space. No sign of Emma. Again, the police searched. Dogs, volunteers, helicopters, nothing. As if the cliff swallowed her. 2 years later, while demolishing part of the cliff to build a road, workers found a stone chamber buried beneath the Abyss House. It was very old, much deeper than anyone had imagined. On the walls were strange drawings, sigils, and distorted human faces. And in the center of the room, they found 7 full human skeletons, scratch marks on the walls. A small stone door with a narrow dirt-covered tunnel behind it. But they did not find Thomas or Emma. The hole was sealed, and the house was demolished entirely. The police announced the evidence was insufficient to conclude any crime. The file was officially closed as Unsolved Case. In 2021, 30 years later, an elderly man named Aaron King, the family's neighbor at the time, came forward in a recorded interview before his death. On the night Emma disappeared, I saw something coming out from under the house. Something tall, walking on all fours, tilting its head like it was searching for something. I didn't speak at the time. If I had told the police, they would have called me crazy. Then he added something that shook the case again. Thomas didn't leave the basement. I'm sure he never left the house at all. The truth, the house is gone. The basement is gone. The evidence is lost, and the witnesses are dead. And no one knows. Was someone hiding beneath the house? Did the house itself hold something that fed on its residents? Did the family disappear because of a cult, a crime, or something supernatural? The case remains in the record of unsolved mysteries, but one of the workers who helped dig the chamber said something he's never forgotten. The closer we got to the crypt, the more we heard a faint sound that resembled a child crying, and no one has ever discovered its source.